So the next-gen Witcher 3 update has officially been out for a couple of days now, and I have a few more new unannounced additions and secrets for you. I've been on the hunt ever since I got my hands on the update last week, so let's get to it. To start, and you may have seen this first one if you follow me over on Twitter, but as of the latest update, you can now pet Roach. There's no prompt to do this or anything, but you just have to walk up to Roach and hold the jump button. I found that it doesn't always work, it's a bit finicky if everything isn't level, but most of the time you can give your trusty horse a good pat whenever needed. Next, I want to show off a brand new piece of equipment I came across, the Candle Lantern. It's located somewhat near the entrance of a little unmarked cave near the Hanged Man's Tree, aka where you spawn in Velen after leaving White Orchard. This is also the cave where part of the optional Taller rescue mission takes place, if that helps you find it. Anyway, this lantern can be picked up right inside the entrance, and it's equipable just like a torch as a light source. Another new piece of equipment you can find, also in Velen, is located way down in the southern end of the map, at the Nilfgaardian camp. There you'll find the House of Respite, or Respite depending on where you're from, which is blocked off by a couple of guards. You can get in by just putting on some Nilfgaardian armor and they'll let you through. Inside the main building though, you'll find a brand new winged helmet next to a chest with some Nilfgaardian armor pieces. The armor is not a new set, but the helmet totally is new. You equip it as a mask and it doesn't have any stat bonuses, it's just for looks. Maybe not something Geralt would wear day to day, but it's pretty cool, and if you want to get rid of the hood on the Grandmaster Cat armor, well, now you have another option. I also have a couple of unannounced changes that I want to point out before I cover a few more details I've dug up. One is that the guards around the Witcher 3 world are no longer gods. What I mean by that is before this update, if you aggravated guards in any city to the point where they attacked you, they would each have more health than basically any boss in the game, and in most cases could kill you in one hit. With the next gen update, that has changed. Guards are very easy to take down now, they're like any similar level bandits you'll find out in the wild. This change is just one of many pretty substantial combat related tweaks that were made with this patch that went more or less unannounced. Some are part of a mod that was integrated, while others were specifically changed by CDPR. I've been thinking about making a video just breaking down all the ways combat and stats were altered, because there's a lot that is completely different to the point of entire character builds needing to be reworked. Anyway, another little change can be found during the beginning of the Skellige main quest. Once you arrive there and meet up with Yennefer, she'll give you a key to her room at the inn so you can change into some fresh clothes. For the longest time, it was somewhat of a meme that the key to Yennefer's room was labeled a common item. I don't think I need to elaborate on why that has been memed to death. Anyway, sadly, CDPR have decided to kill said meme, as the key to Yennefer's room is now a relic. A similar detail can be found in Novigrad. Ever since the game came out, there's been this armorer in the main square that says this:
"Top-notch swords."
The thing is, this guy doesn't even sell swords, he's an armorer, not a blacksmith. Well, CDPR have fixed this in the update, as he now says something different.
"Welcome, welcome."
Not gonna lie, this one kinda hurts. Top-notch swords guy was easily one of the 5 most iconic Witcher characters. Usually people's rankings went something like number 1 Geralt, then Regis, top-notch swords guy of course, then Gaunter O'Dim, and then maybe Adrian to round out the list. But now top-notch swords guy is a thing of the past. End of an era. Next, I want to include a few details you may have missed in the new quest, In the Eternal Fire's Shadow. If you haven't played the quest yet, try it out for yourself, then come back. It can be found at Devil's Pit in Velen, but if you have finished it, I have a few things here there's a good chance you haven't seen. I'm not going to be showcasing the different main endings. I'm sure somebody has already uploaded the differences in the big choice, and many of you likely tried them yourself already. So, what details do I have? Well, to start, how this quest kicks off is with the quest giver, a deacon of the Eternal Fire, asking you to clear out some bandits in Devil's Pit before eliminating a spirit in the mine. Something interesting you can do though is run past the deacon into Devil's Pit without talking to him, wipe out the bandits yourself without being asked, and then go back and start the quest. If you do it that way, the game accounts for your actions and has a little alternate conversation.
They must be dealt with, the bandits, and this vile spirit.
Already dealt with those deserters. Shouldn't be a problem, at least for now.
Truly? Why, splendid! Still, we'd be fools to delay. The mine will not remain shut forever.
It's worth pointing out that even if you load an old completed save you had to check out this new quest, one where you had already cleared Devil's Pit, the game still spawns new bandits down there anyway, so if you want to take care of them first, you'll need to do it before talking to the deacon. Also, this one is just a bonus thing I wanted to point out for those of you that missed it, but this quest makes heavy use of the lamp Keira gives you. If you loaded an old save, you'd more likely than not have it already, but if you just jumped into a new game and went to this new quest the second you could, then you'll miss out on a lot. When you enter one of the first rooms in the mine, you'll get a little line from Geralt telling you to use it.
Keira's lamp ought to prove really handy here.
From that point onward, you can use this lamp all over the quest. There's like 10 locations. They don't have any voice acting attached to them, but they show in much greater detail the horrors of what was going on down there. Speaking of, something really interesting happens if you skip all of the investigating you can do in the mine. The game will direct you through the mines and push you along a set path that will unravel what the Eternal Fire were up to. But if you ignore what the game is telling you to do and instead skip everything, don't bother preparing for the fight and instead beeline straight to the chamber where you'll find the trapped Witcher, everything about what happens next changes. Usually you'll get this cutscene where the Miasmal, the evil spirit, pretends to be Reynold, the Witcher. The spirit attempts to trick you into giving it a potion before the real Reynold breaks through momentarily and tells you to drink the potion you brewed. However, if you skipped everything you were directed to do, then none of that happens, and you get a completely different cutscene where the spirit doesn't even attempt to trick Geralt, although the real Reynold does still break through.
At last, you have my thanks, Witcher.
You're not Reynold.
My observance, albeit a tad slow. I have no control. Hurry! You have to cut it down.
Something else I wanted to point out related to this quest happens at the very end. This one does have to do with the main ending, but it's something I haven't seen pointed out elsewhere. If you refuse to bring the deacon down to Reynold, and then also refuse to tell him the specifics of what happened in the mine, there's a pretty nice moment and follow-up detail.
You've spared Velen a horrible fate. Oh, will you give me your name? For our chronicle, please.
Reynold. It should say Reynold saved Velen. Godspeed, priest.
If you later return to Devil's Pit after this ending, you'll find that the deacon still started a hospital for the sick, which is something he also does in the endings where you take him to the Witcher's spirit. In those cases, he sees what his people had done, and says he'll name the hospital in honor of Reynold. However, in this ending that I'm singling out, he never meets the spirit of the Witcher or learns anything about him. But because Geralt said his name was Reynold, sort of, at least that's the way the deacon took it, the hospital still ends up being named after the Witcher in the mine. The deacon just thought he was naming it after you. I thought that was a clever little workaround on CDPR's part, so Reynold still gets proper credit even when the Eternal Fire guy doesn't know anything about him. Also, I did go ahead and test to see if maybe you could talk to Vesemir about Reynold, which would make a lot of sense, but unfortunately, unless my game was bugged, you cannot. I suppose that checks out. They'd have needed to get back voice actors for every language just for a couple of lines each, but I'd really have liked to hear what Vesemir thought of your meeting. Well, that does it for today. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like as it helps to get these videos out there, and also I'd really love to hear what you guys thought of the new quest. That said, if you enjoy Witcher content, feel free to subscribe as I post a lot of it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.